Hey, Prime members! Have you heard? You can listen to your favorite podcasts ad-free? Good news! With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free-podcast. That's amazon.com/ad-free-podcast to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
This episode is brought to you by Huggies Little Movers. Huggies knows that babies come in all shapes and sizes, and their tushies do too. Huggies has more curves and outstanding active fit. Parents know that there's nothing worse than an ill-fitting diaper, especially for active wiggly babies. Huggies Little Movers are curved to fit all curves, so babies feel comfy no matter how much they're moving around. And we all know they're moving around a lot. They also offer 12-hour protection against leaks, which is a game changer. Get your baby's butt into the best-fitting diaper. Huggies Little Movers. We got you, baby.
Bombas makes the most comfortable socks, underwear, and T-shirts.
Warning, Bombas are so absurdly comfortable you may throw out all your other clothes.
Sorry, do we legally have to say that?
No, this is just how I talk, and I really love my Bombas.
They do feel that good. And they do good, too. One item purchased equals one item donated.
To feel good and do good, go to bombas.com/Wondery and use code Wondery for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/Wondery and use code Wondery at checkout.
So I was thrilled this morning to get an email from The Hollywood Reporter that Jeopardy, which I love, is franchising, and they are going to have a new version of the show called Pop Culture Jeopardy that has been sold to Amazon Prime. And I thought three things when I heard this news. The very first thing was, you and I need to go on this show
100%.
and clean up.
Against each other.
Well, no. Wait. I mean, against each other would be the face crack of the century, but their show's formatted differently because they're going to have teams of people. It's not just one person. Yes.
Oh, we need to do this.
We need to do it. But
this isn't a joke. We really do.
No, we really do. But then my second thought was, we need to host this fucking thing.
Yeah,
because I whoever's going to host it, I'm going to hate. Automatically, I'm going to hate them. It doesn't matter because the whole time I'm going to think it should be us. But then the third and most important thing I thought was, given who's going to go to a show like this and how many people like us are responding the way we're responding right now, how many episodes are they going to shoot before the producers realize they have to call the show Faggot Jeopardy? Because that's basically what it is. Gaga could do the theme. You know what I mean? Music, movies, and TV. This is Faggot Jeopardy. I mean, get her now to do it. Get it.
And how many people are going to bring like loaded guns to the set because they're going to be like, I should be the one hosting this
absolutely
TV show.
Every queen that's a contestant on that show is going to try to kill the host so they could become the host
by something, poison, marbles on the floor, a la Showgirls, anything.
Look out, Amazon Prime, because you are about to be the Rainbow Network. Amazon must have had a really good PR day today because a couple of other things. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is producing a new Tomb Raider series for Amazon. What are your thoughts?
Haven't heard that name in a while.
I know, because she sort of went into hiding after the whole Mr. and Mrs. Smith thing went down, where her and Donald Glover agreed to part ways.
Oh, is that what happened? I didn't even know that.
Apparently they had creative differences. She was supposed to be Mrs. Smith and it just didn't work out. So I know. But I love Phoebe Waller-Bridge and I think she'll bring a really fun take to Lara Croft. She's not playing the role. She's just producing, writing, etc.
Yeah, into that.
Also, Reese Witherspoon's company has sold to Amazon Prime a new series called Elle, which is a Legally Blonde prequel, which will follow Elle and presumably her dog Bruiser in high school.
How does she have the rights to that?
I don't know, because she's Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah,
She's a mogul. I mean, she is a low-key mogul.
She's like slapping her production company name on the deal, like as part of the... Is she playing Elle? No.
No, it's a Elle is in high school. So
Got
no,
it.
she would
Okay.
not.
Well, she would try. I'll tell you that.
Do you
much.
think so?
100%.
I don't know if she would do. I bet she'll appear in Flash Forwards.
Oh, or no, she'll be like a teacher or something.
Moving on to stuff so much more important than this.
Correct.
We missed it last week just by a hair, but the Biebers are pregnant.
I mean,
this is children having children. How dare they? How dare they propagate?
Well, and was he crying? Remember when he put up those stories where he was crying? Is that because like his child was born, but he just couldn't tell us?
Unborn, but yes. I mean, it could have been. I think that Justin Bieber a few weeks ago got wrapped up in the whole Me Too children moment with Dan Schneider and Usher and all this nonsense. And I think and Diddy especially, and was like, no one said anything when people were pawing after me. And a lot of clips circulated online of people like manhandling him at award shows and stuff when he was a child.
Yeah.
And, that's a book.
I pray.
Yeah.
I want to, I pray.
Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie. Heard of them? Well, guess what?
Breathless.
They are reuniting for an as yet unrevealed television show.
Even if it's just them going through a drive-through, like anything, it's so fun. Like it would be so fun. I would watch them rewatch that show and talk about the stories of like when they had to go to like a fair. You know what I mean? Like
that's
that's not a show. Like that's like barely a podcast, and I would watch every frame of it.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, I am truly, as much as I reflexively disliked Paris Hilton in the beginning of this century, I'm now mildly obsessed with how tongue-in-cheek she is as an adult. I think she, as an adult, is doing what Paris Hilton should be doing as an adult. I'm here
and doing it flawlessly. Again, giving us that Paris in Love show, which is the absolute darkest thing you've ever seen in your entire life. Her interaction with her mother it is nightmare fuel. And yet in the little interstitials, she'll go to do like I think I've told you this before, but she'll go to do like a vocal warm up for like her big performance for New Year's Eve. And she's literally at a piano and the guy starts playing and she goes, all the gays are sliving. It's the best shit of and she moves on from that without a one word about it. Like she's just like simply my vocal warm up, moving on to like me ambushing my mother with my child that she didn't know existed 5 minutes prior to this. It's amazing.
Oh, I mean, I think that's part of Paris's appeal now. I think she looks at her mother and she's like, Paris is like, so I'm actually the smartest one in our family? Copy that. Speaking of the smartest bitch in your family, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I mean, she posts a Mother's Day video on Instagram this weekend and talks about the good times with her mother.
Dear God.
Spoiler alert for those of you who don't know how the story ends. She killed the bitch a couple of years ago. What?
She's doing everything right. She has to have every single outlet possible banging her door down for a...
Oh, I'm sure. Well, she has a new series on Lifetime that's premiering in June. It's, it's like after she gets out, like it supposedly it covers all of it, like her release, like the husband, the non-husband, the husband again.
It still isn't out.
It's coming out in a few weeks.
Well, I guess because they just filmed it like 3 months ago.
Well, yeah. I mean, she only got out really in January.
Right? For real. Like, they barely like they're still probably filming it. I'm desperate for it. Mm-hmm. Desperate.
The new face, all of it.
Everything.
It'll be on Lifetime in June. Please catch it. But she closed comments down on that post because, again, she is not. Someone's advising her the right way because she's like,
why would she leave them open for people to be like, you're a murderer? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she said, I know. It's basically her message is, I know what I did, but I know the good times I had with her. I can deal with my feelings for her on my own, and I don't need the negativity. So here's what I have to say, and you don't get to comment on it.
Well, I need to remind everyone really quickly that like her mother for her entire life put her through absolute hell.
Yeah.
Put her through surgeries, put a feeding port in her body so that her mother could control what she was eating and not eating. Like she isn't just like someone that went crazy and murdered her mother for no reason.
Yeah. It wasn't like
Munchausen's. I don't care what happens. I will always defend her for that because it was like her beginning of her life was absolute horrifyingly insane trauma from tip to tail, period.
It's not a Munchausen's by proxy case. It's like the Munchausen's by proxy
100%.
Case. Like it's not anything else will be compared to this. No one, the only person I've ever heard who doesn't defend what she's done is her. You know, like when she goes on The View and Sonny Hostin is like, your mom deserved it. She's like, well, I did kill her, which was not a good thing. So let's
she deserves
dial
to
it
live.
back,
Yeah,
Sonny.
Yeah.
Stop trying to get that cheap applause, Sonny Hostin.
Don't get me started. Don't get me.
Now, from murder to murdering a red carpet. Oh, God, I'm obsessed with my own segues. This is really, I'm really patting myself on the clit today. So Zendaya, as you know, last week we talked about the Met Gala. Zendaya was on the carpet twice. Law Roach is her longtime stylist and, you know, a very vocal, flamboyant, talented.
You want to talk about messiest bitch alive.
But he's given an interview since then and Law Roach is in a stage of his career where he's just naming all the names.
Yeah.
And just, I went to ourbiblepeople.com and he is naming all the fashion houses who wouldn't dress Zendaya when she was becoming a star. And now he will not use them. Like he names them all and doesn't give a shit. He said, I would write the big five: Saint Laurent, Chanel, Gucci, Valentino, and Dior. They would all say, no, try again next year. She's too green. Well, who's too green now, bitch?
But like, I don't know. Isn't that a little bit valid? Not to...
I don't know. Law Roach is
like,
a
sure, but like,
bitch.
Yeah. Dear God. Well, hasn't he quit like 7 times? Remember when
he has, but I think he only does her and like a handful of other people.
Yeah.
He's just like not, for lack of a better term, he does no storefront.
There's always some complaint coming from that camp over there. I'll just say that.
He also gets to walk with her, which the other stylists don't. So that's the only reason I feel like he shouldn't be complaining. It's like you're like a full-blown celebrity.
No, and now everyone knows who you are. Like you're the, you know what I mean? Like he's like the celebrity stylist now.
I'm moving on to Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Smuckers. I have read this week that her and H's charity endeavor, Archwell, is like in trouble with the California state government because they're delinquent.
No, because they're not legal. It's not a charity endeavor. You're making Netflix docuseries. That's not a charity endeavor.
They said that this will be cleared up in a week or so. The check is in the mail. And to that, I have to say, welcome to being a commoner, bitch. Yeah, my checks are in the mail too.
Yeah, also welcome to being an American. Like the IRS is knocking on your door. Like, hi, here we are. You know what I mean? Like, you know those things called taxes? Oh, you have to pay them now.
Mm-hmm. Well, she hopefully always has been. He's probably like,
well, I don't know what that is. He's like, yeah, tax, never heard of it.
Speaking of the Duchess of Smuckers and her long-suffering
I'm stopping.
H.
I have to go
Are you
back.
stopping or are you interrupting?
I have to go back. I'm interrupting.
Go do it. Go ahead.
But wait, I'm not done with this. That's really embarrassing and really bad. You have like 9 million people that work for you and you're not by the book on like...
who knows? Maybe these, she does not have a good reputation. She probably has beaten everyone until they resigned. Maybe they have no employees. Maybe it's just her, H, and Lilibet. Who's the other one? Oh,
how dare you, Lilibet?
Lilibet.
All I know is a little birdie that worked with them once told me like there's like 700 people on their team.
Who's your source? Lilibet?
No.
Is it her?
Yes.
Have you been texting that
actually Prince George texted me. My birthday twin, Prince George, texted me. He was like, that stupid bitch.
I didn't know he had the same birthday as you.
He was born on my 23rd birthday.
Look at that. Prince
Anyway, so continue on. Something about Harry.
Well, they are doing their triumphant tour of Nigeria, and every outfit she's wearing is some sort of planned statement about blah-blah-blah. And anyway, apparently she's wearing one of Diana's crosses, as in a crucifix.
Yeah.
That H gave her. Obviously some people are happy and some people are like, I hope it burns a hole in your bosom. How dare you? You ruined the United Kingdom. You killed Princess Diana, etc. I mean,
that's his mom's necklace to give to her.
100%.
It's no one's business. But also, of course, there are times when I do feel bad for them because, like, she just like breathes, and they're like, "You're a disgrace to humanity."
I'm telling you, I've turned a little bit. I mean, I love her. I'm obsessed with her. I think that she is living the dream. It's like she's the Princess Diaries come to life. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But now, you marry someone, you marry their family, unfortunately. And just like this family needs to be reassembled right now. And she holds the key. It's really all on them. It really is all on them. They got to get back there.
I know, but I don't think, do you think he's showing up and they're turning him away? Like, they couldn't risk that. Are you kidding me? To show up to the palace and then be turned away.
They don't even give the opportunity for something that awkward. Like they plan it months in advance.
Yeah, I guess
like
you're
he was
right.
just in the UK and he couldn't get an audience with his own dad.
That's crazy.
Someone who is decidedly not royalty, who we haven't spoken about in a minute, and that's Chris Pratt. I have 2 stories about Chris Pratt somehow today.
2 that I don't want to hear, but continue.
So in some interview, Chris Pratt reveals that Chris Pratt obviously married to Katherine Schwarzenegger. So she's a Schwarzenegger and a Kennedy and all of these things. And Chris Pratt has somehow lucked out again in life and been married. Go ahead, Chris.
Boo.
Chris Pratt has said in an interview that Usher is his wife's hall pass. Of all the times in history to say you'd let your wife have sex with Usher, this isn't the time.
No, at
given
all.
how his name's being bandied about, all these fucking pedo cases with Justin and Diddy, like Chris Pratt, be quiet, man. Quiet.
No.
Lord.
Also,
Now,
same for around the world. Like, this isn't like a news flash. Like, every white woman that watched the Super Bowl, they said that to their husband. Like, if Usher wants to fuck me, like, you're going to fucking deal with it. Like, that, her and everyone else in this country.
And every white man was thinking it. Don't, even the straight ones, even your dads, listeners, even your own dad wanted to have sex with Usher. But keep your mouth shut, Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
The second Chris Pratt story I have this week is that for the second year in a row, I need you to bolt yourself to your seat because I feel like you're going to go vertical when I say this. You're going to get so annoyed. For the second year in a row, he has made a Mother's Day post where he has talked about his mom and his current wife of their 2 kids, but makes no mention of ex-wife Anna Faris and the child that they share together. Second year in a row. Now, when it happened last year, obviously he was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So now you're doing it on purpose because you knew it was a conflama last year. So I don't know. I don't know what Anna Faris is supposed to do. Sue him, kill him, give him the finger. I don't know.
She's doing the right thing.
You're a douche.
She's moving right along and is like booked and busy and not worried about him.
Have you seen Baby Reindeer on Netflix?
Not yet. I'm the only person alive, but we just got through Palm Royale, and so we're going to start Baby Reindeer.
What did you think of Palm Royale? Because I haven't seen that.
I really liked it. Towards the end, it starts to turn into a soap opera in the wildest way, and there are parts that I'm like, oh, brother, but it's so ridiculous that I'm laughing at it. And it is, I think, Kristen Wiig should be nominated. Like, it was.
I'm going to try to watch it.
It's so good. She does such a good job. Ricky Martin does great in it. Surprisingly, because I don't see him as an actor, but he did a really good job. Allison Janney is Allison Janney. She's obviously everyone in it does amazing. Carol Burnett is mute for the first 9 episodes, and it is how dare they do this to a living legend? Like, the reason any of these women have jobs is because of her, and how dare they make her be in a wheelchair and catatonic for most of the episodes, and then awake but going, boo.
Oh no.
Just mumbling, making murmurs for the rest of it. But she steals the scenes when she can't even speak.
I believe it.
She's so great. But everyone in it is firing at a 10 and it's so good. But as it keeps going, you're like, oh brother, okay, this is ridiculous. But just let it happen. And
I'm going to watch it. I want to. I really want to watch it. And you should watch Baby Reindeer too. I watched it in one day. The day it came out, I'd honestly never heard of it before. And sometimes when I'm looking at Netflix, I'm like, what's this? It sucked me in immediately and I was done with it in a couple hours.
I don't watch anything on Netflix anymore. Is that bad? I'm never bopping to Netflix.
No.
Other than my Selling the OC and my Selling Sunset and my Love is Blind. Unless someone's really you need to watch this thing, I'm never over there anymore.
I go through phases with all the streamers. Yeah. Sometimes I'll drift over to Apple TV Plus and I'll be like, wow, I haven't been here in 6 months. And then I just end up going there every day for a month. And I'm like, what is this? What is this?
And again, you've never heard of any of the shows that they're putting out at all? Never once. It's the worst marketing I've ever seen in my life.
Anyway, regarding Baby Reindeer.
Oh, she went on Piers Morgan and was
she went on Piers Morgan,
the victim.
But when I tell you that all this appearance on Piers Morgan did was pretty much confirm that everything in the show is accurate. I mean, like, I thought that the first 10 minutes of it was a joke. I really did. I'm like, who is this actress that they hired who looks like the actress in Baby Reindeer who's pretending it's about her? And it was just whoever wrote the script. It's like how they didn't meet this woman. Her exact personality is in this.
No, because it is a real story, isn't it?
Yes. She's saying it's not and that she's suing.
Oh,
so this is who she's suing now. She's going to sue Netflix as of today. She's thinking of suing Netflix. And now she's thinking of suing Piers Morgan because the fee to appear on the show is only 313 British pounds, which is sort of like the standard fee that anyone gets to appear on a talk show. But given that 11 million people have watched the interview, she's now thinking of suing Piers for $1 million.
No. Go get a book deal. You could have gotten a book deal for that.
With all due respect to people who are suffering from mental illness, this woman is literally the textbook definition of that bitch cray. Like you're watching it and you're like, wowie, wow.
And then for this calm in the storm for her to be Piers Morgan, like literal gutter trash.
Christopher,
like,
you have to watch it because he asks her why she chose Piers and she delivers this whole thing. She's like, well, you used to be a lawyer and you're respectful. And she's saying all these things. I'm like, oh, honey, you don't know anything about Piers Morgan, do you? But that's okay. That's all right. Some of our favorite stars are going to be going to Broadway for the very first time. Robert Downey Jr. makes his Broadway debut this fall in a new play called McNeil. I will see it. It will be at the Lincoln Center Theater. I love all their productions, and I love him. And George Clooney, who I am mistaken for quite often. Oh, no, I'm actually mistaken for Rachel Maddow quite often. I get them confused. George Clooney will be making his Broadway debut in the staged version of Good Night and Good Luck, which he directed and appeared in several years ago. It was nominated for Best Picture, and he's going to be playing the lead. I know he's not done Broadway before. Apparently, he's done stage work, but the movie was great. I remember it. I mean, it must be 15 years ago now, but I will see that as well, because why not?
It's a good move to go to Broadway after you win an Oscar.
Yeah, because
it really is. It's the only thing you can really do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To be like,
also,
okay, I'm done now.
Why does he even work? I mean, he has beautiful children. His wife is one of the world's great beauties. He has a home on Lake Como. Why do you work at all? Like, why don't you just stay home and like, I don't know, jerk off and eat gnocchi? That's what I would do if I lived in Lake Como.
Isn't it enough money? Like, I just don't even
know. I don't know.
And she's like saving the world, like single-handedly, basically.
Well, I think so, yeah. But I will tell you, what's my number here? I'll tell you this. If I were to win $10 million in the lottery, I would stop doing this podcast. I'm just telling everyone here, you better be sure I don't win the lottery. I love Chris. I love doing this. I love all of you. But $10 million, fuck it.
Yeah, you're like, bye.
Peace.
Yeah, you'd never see me again.
Speaking of millions of dollars, Christopher, we will get your expertise on this. There is a new Lord of the Rings trilogy being bestowed on us. I wish we were doing video this week so you could have seen Chris roll his eyes so hard, his chair almost fell backwards. Why are you mad about there being a new Lord of the Rings trilogy?
Okay, you're going to like want to cut this out of the podcast because I'm like, you're going to be like, no one's
Are you about to geek out? All right, should we
it's just
2 minutes later.
The original things, they filmed all three of them at the same time, and they actually went to New Zealand and like built entire sets that were real.
Right.
Like that are still there that you can go see.
Right.
And like they really did it right and made so much of it as real as possible. And they also they couldn't just CGI everything like they do now. So like they actually really had to make it be real. And the Hobbit movies were all so fake. And it was so obvious that everything was CGI'd. And it was so unbelievably CGI that it took you out of how fantastic the original films were. And so it's just so like, that's just going to be this all over again.
Yeah, you're probably right. The first one is going to be about Gollum and is going to be directed by Andy Serkis, who plays Gollum.
And for what? For what? But like, for what?
I don't know, because people love it. They think you're one of the people who loves it.
No, but there's no story there. Like, it's just going to be Gollum running around, like, or it's Gollum during the like, it just like,
I don't know.
The story of Lord of the Rings is like so fantastic because there's a mission that has to happen and we watch over 3 movies and 3 books, that mission being completed.
Right.
What the fuck is this Gollum shit going to be? Nothing.
Do you know who's playing Frodo in this?
No.
Rachel Dolezal. I made that up. I don't. I just don't. I just want her to be a part of it. I want her to be a part of everything, really.
You want her to be Gandalf is what you
do.
want.
I honestly want her to seek the Democratic nomination for president this year. Or the Republican. I wouldn't care. I will switch parties to vote for Rachel Dolezal. I don't care.
You really will.
Speaking of horrified, Rumor Willis has horrified people on the internet because she posted pictures of her breastfeeding. There's like backlash.
Well, remember when she was horrifying people on the streets of New York when she was walking around topless because it wasn't a crime?
I don't remember that.
This is truly minimum 10 years ago. I was working on Chopped when this was happening. So that would have been 2014.
Okay.
She was walking around New York with no shirt on, topless, nips out, because it actually isn't a crime. Like, you can be topless. Like, women can be topless in New York. It's not illegal.
Right.
And so she was doing it to be like, free the nipple.
Well, she's freed it again. I guess she's pretty obsessed with her tits. And every time she whips them out, it's a news story. But this thing, she posted pictures, like, I feel like these are two different sort of stories. Like, if someone's posting a picture breastfeeding, I think we all need to get used to that's how babies eat.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need a separate room or to shield your children. It's like, just let them eat. Like, also, it's a tit, not a clit. I mean, that's merch right there. That's what you're welcome, Rumor Willis. She needs to just wear a bandana that says it's a tit, not a clit, and walk around topless forever. Compliments of us. We will take 30% of that. Thanks. Did I know that Bradley Cooper and Gigi Hadid were dating, or did I forget it?
No, you did, but who's to know, because it's only in weird staged paparazzi pictures.
Right, and he's also old enough to be at least her great uncle. So they were spotted at the Taylor Swift concert. And what?
Nothing.
What was that?
Nothing at all.
What was that? They were spotted making out furiously at the Taylor Swift concert in Paris.
I'm sure that they were. And they were, and they weren't paid to do that.
In front of paparazzi that they called.
And like, yes, like, and was that, of course. What a surprise.
Dorit and PK from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills are divorcing.
This is hard.
Is it?
This is hard.
Why is it hard?
It just is.
Because you like them as a couple?
I mean, this is Dorit in a nutshell. Is she walks in the door, Phoenix and Jagger, and then she's like, PK, what are we going to do about Mauricio and Kyle? Like, and he's like, I don't know, babes. Oh, no. Like, what is she going to do now?
Spend the money, I suppose. I mean, it always seemed like a transaction to me anyway. I didn't feel the love match here. I never felt it.
Dominic, what money?
Are they broke?
Oh, Dominic.
Both of them? If you say my name one more time, I'm hanging. What are they broke?
Are you a person on this planet?
Are they broke?
It's all anyone talks about is how they have no money.
So like, could this be the reason they're getting a divorce?
Well, they're just separating according to their Instagram posts.
No one's ever just separating.
I know, but I don't think they can legally get divorced. Like, I think the divorce is like, then it's like open to the world of like what the finances are.
Oh, you know what is interesting too? I do know that they've been married for 9 years. And there's something about when you're married for 10 years in the state of California, like something horrific happens. Like this jackhammer that just started at the corner of Jacobus and West 225th in the fucking Bronx. Stop it! There's not much else going on, although that was quite a bit. Michael Douglas has come forth and in his inimitable, creepy way said that intimacy coaches annoy him because he feels like they're taking the creativity out of movie sets.
I'm sorry to say, like, what sex scene is Michael Douglas doing? And if he is, that person that's directing it should be put in prison.
Like, I can't even imagine what would make him just even volunteer this information. Was there a sex scene in Ben Franklin on Hulu that I missed?
What's the deal? Is Benjamin Franklin like going down on like Mary Todd Lincoln? Like, what's happening? I know that's like not the same era, but like
even alive at the same time.
They weren't. Martha Washington. There we go. No, but surely was Michael Douglas like going down on like Martha Washington's like, George can't fillet me anymore since his wooden teeth have been put in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what? Why is Michael and also shut up. The reason intimacy coordinators are there is because of you, Michael Douglas.
Literally. He didn't get cancer from
literally
Jay's vagina. He got it from all the vaginas he wasn't supposed to be going after. How dare you, Michael Douglas? Cher's birthday is Monday, May 20th. You have permission from this podcast to take off from work. Everyone listening to it. We will write you a note. She will be 78 years old. Sherilyn Sarkeesian LaPierre Bono Allman, our planet's greatest entertainer, has survived another year, and her boyfriend is Chris's age. So really get it, bitch. Get it all.
I mean, good for her. Yep. I mean, because who's she supposed to get married to?
No one.
Who's she supposed to date? Some old, Michael Douglas? Like, no, thank you.
Can you even imagine?
No, she's like, I can't deal with that. Some man trying to tell me what to do. No, thank you. Goodbye.
I mean, is this guy doing it deliberately, do you think? Is he homophobic? Yeah. This fucking jackhammer, is that what it's called? Pile driver? Ooh, that made me horny. All right. So, programming notes. Tickets are on sale for my Pride show at the Cutting Room here in New York City on June 29th. It's called We Get It, You're Gay. And it's going to be a ton of gay fun. Go to my website, domentary.com for tickets, or follow me on socials and go to the link tree. Also, Teresa Caputo, Beyond the Readings, is still airing every Thursday night on Lifetime, which is also the home of the upcoming Gypsy Rose series. So you'll want to get in on that. And don't forget, on Sunday nights, The Real Housewives of New Jersey, featuring the vocal stylings on occasion of Christopher Michael DeRosa, is also early in the hottest season yet. What you need to do is just tape it and watch it on Sunday nights. Have your soul cleansed with Beyond the Readings, and then tune over to Chris's show and throw it right in the garbage again.
We have an maybe the most unhinged episode we've ever had in our entire lives coming up right now, with Chelsea Devantez fixing the one and only Miss Tori Spelling.
And if you have not subscribed to our Patreon yet, this might be the week you want to do that, because this is going to be a supersized episode, because the three of us could not shut the fuck up about Tori Spelling. So this episode you're listening to is a little longer than normal, and we're going to have a chunk of good unheard material on the Patreon. So please check all that out. And we will be right back after this insanely vital message, and after I kill the people operating the jackhammer in the fucking street outside. See you in a minute.
Now at T-Mobile, get 4 5G phones on us and 4 lines for $25 a line per month when you switch with eligible trade-ins. All on America's largest 5G network.
Minimum of 4 lines for $25 per line per month with autopay discount using debit or bank account. $5 more per line without autopay, plus taxes and fees and $10 device connection charge. Phones via 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue bill credits or credit stop and balance on a required finance agreement due. Bill credits end if you pay off devices early. See T-Mobile.com.
Forget one-size-fits-all diets. With Noom, you get a personalized weight loss plan that's tailored to your lifestyle. Have cravings? Food FOMO? Noom can help you lose weight while still enjoying your favorite foods. Noom's users love the flexible approach, blending psychology and biology to help you lose weight in a way that's sustainable for you. Plus, you can rest assured Noom's approach is grounded in science. They've published more than 30 peer-reviewed scientific articles describing their methods and effectiveness. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com.
Wow.
Wow. We are absolutely not ready for what's about to happen right now. We have one of our favorites, our podcast mother. Happy Mother's Day to her. I almost texted you on Mother's Day saying Happy Mother's Day to my podcast mother.
I would have loved that. I am your mother. And like, Kate Casey is your other mother.
Yes,
you guys, this podcast is the child of 2 women.
Yes, 100%. Yep. And you are our mothers. And it's Chelsea Devantez, host of the Glamorous Trash podcast, as well as the author of a soon-to-be New York Times best-selling book and memoir.
Is this a manifest or a curse? We'll find out.
It's both.
We'll find out. Dare I say this episode is going to be notorious?
How dare you? How dare you?
I'm just very excited to do some storytelling about Tori Spelling.
I'm going to kill her. I'm going to kill
Chelsea,
her. Chelsea,
will you tell us the name and the gist of your new book? Is it, in fact, called Fixing Famous People Has 2 Mommies, or did I read the wrong press release?
That is the wrong press release. That's actually my reality show that's coming out. Thank you so much, because also this is a good way for me to practice my PR, which is to say my book is titled I Shouldn't Be Telling You This. It comes out June 4th in 3 weeks. It is a comedy gal memoir. It is half very funny and half absolutely harrowing trauma. So if both of those things are your thing at the same time, that's my book for you. And it covers, growing up in the Southwest and having a best friend breakup and becoming Jon Stewart's head writer and being poor and then being not poor and finding out my dad's not my real dad, dating a magician. Are the last two related? I think so. Probably read the book and draw a straight line for yourself.
Now, before we go any further, I must say that I was lucky enough to read an advanced copy of this book. And when I tell you, and I've texted Chelsea this in way more words, but this will absolutely move the needle on comedy memoirs in a way that I'm not at the liberties to explain why, but just know that tectonic plates will be shifting.
Are scandals revealed? Are there scandals born in this book?
Yes, I would say yes. And if you read it really closely, you will understand I drop a lot of celebrity goss, but there are many times where I said a coworker of mine. But if you think about what job I have, my coworker can mean actor. You got to look, you got to work for it, but it's there.
All right.
There.
Guys, I'm serious. If you like this podcast at all, you will absolutely love this book. Pre-order it, please. We will put up the link.
Actually, please pre-order it. Dear God.
No.
It's all I hear about from the publisher. If I don't sell enough books, I'll never get to write another one.
I am so excited about your book that I'm going to learn how to read so I can read this book.
I feel like
I'm finally going to fucking do it. I'm going to do it.
Moving right along, we have ground to cover. Yeah. And we have someone who needs us desperately.
And we are here.
It's bad. I had to pop over to Glamorous Trash and listen to your episode, Chelsea, of Storytelling by Tori Spelling, because we actually covered her book in book club.
Yes, we did.
It's a roller coaster.
It's a ride. I thought I remembered a lot of it, and I also had to go back and re-listen, and then the sound of my own voice made me stop that mission. But
yeah,
I can say with surety that Tori Spelling's best friend is a chicken, and she needs us as well, because you can't just have a chicken as your best friend.
No.
And the amount of bird death surrounding this woman. I mean, in her memoir from a decade plus ago, 2 decades, almost, in her memoir from 20 years ago.
Truly 20 years ago.
Truly 20 years ago, 2 birds die and 1 bird is abused. And in headlines recently, they're like, Tori Spelling's best friend is a chicken drove Dean McDermott out of the house. It's just like...
Well, and a bird also bites her face off, basically. And then one is sacrificed. Isn't one sacrificed in there? Right?
Yes. So one is sacrificed for her personal cleansing and it helps her find Dean McDermott. But the other bird, and here's the thing, and Dom, I'm just so curious your take. What happens is this bird who's been abused by her boyfriend grabs hold of her nose. So the bird is lashing out. Okay. The bird is looking to take some prison.
The bird
has been abused. It's now passing on the abuse. Hurt people.
Right.
The bird clamps on to her nose.
Chelsea. Oh God.
And then the plastic surgeon has to shave a little nose off. Okay. But it was the bird. The bird's beak got down to the bone. And so did she have 2 nose jobs, or did this bird almost bite her nose? And this is what's up for debate today.
So I guess my question is, did the bird happen to bite her nose, say 6 weeks before her bat mitzvah, is my question. How much of a coincidence was the bird bite? When did it happen historically?
Let's say, it really was a bird bite. It was in her 20s. Okay. It was in her 20s. She had already had 1 nose job. And even if it really was just a bird bite, nothing to do with the nose job, she grew up her whole life with her mom saying her nose was ugly, had already had 1 nose job. So that means that bird is I'm going to get her where it hurts. I know what to grab.
Yeah.
The bird really had it.
Oh, the bird was I'm doing you a favor. You want another nose job? Here you go.
Yeah. Or it was her way of saying she has a deviated septum, but she knew that time's up on deviated septum.
No, she was I can't in good conscience do that.
These people an abused bird.
Yeah.
Or was it actually that Gabrielle Carteris slapped her with a falconer's glove and she was so embarrassed that the weakest cast member attacked her that she made up this bullshit bird story?
Yeah. The layers.
We need to call Chris. Who's the Dateline guy? Chris Hansen. Like, call him.
Yeah. How to catch up.
Wait. We cannot get too deep. We're at this for several minutes yet. Okay. We have to do our thing. So I feel like one or both of you knows Tori Spelling's middle name.
Dominic, I never know. I don't know on purpose. Wow. I avoid it on purpose.
This is my favorite minute of the week with two of my favorite people. And this is a good one. This is a very good one. Ooh. Victoria Spelling, born on May 16th, 1973, meaning she will be 51 in just a few days. She was born, the only other thing I can tell you is that she was born in Los Angeles. What is Tori Victoria Spelling's middle name?
Okay, here's the thing. Her brother's name is Randy. And I thought Randy and Tori went well together. But now that I know that it's Victoria, which I somehow didn't know, what would Randy be short for? I know, I was like, well, because Tori and Randy, like, Randall? Okay, Randall, probably.
Probably Randall.
Okay, Randall, Victoria.
Is it Victoria Candy Spelling?
Ooh, yes, that's good. Yeah, the mom's name is Candy.
I'm guessing Candy.
Okay, and you said it's 1973?
Mm-hmm.
And they have lots and lots of money.
Yes, at this point, they were obscenely wealthy, I would say.
Corky. Victoria Tori Corky.
So the guesses are Tori Corky Spelling. And what did you say, Chris?
Tori Candy.
Tori Candy Spelling, right. Neither of those is right. I don't know where this came from, but her name is Victoria Davy Spelling.
100%.
Okay,
it's her.
I knew it was.
That's not Candy's maiden name, though.
Damn it.
Davy.
So
I knew it was something like from. Kiki, Wacky, Davy.
It's
like
that. Chelsea. Yeah. Chelsea.
It's that. With Tori Spelling, I'm going to start off with something positive before we go down the Sarlacc pit of everything with her. Was it a VH1 series that she did? It was sort of like a spoof of Who She Is. Zachary Quinto was in it. I believe it was called So Notorious.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
I think it only ran for 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
It was fantastic. It was something that if she hadn't done it, it would have been one of my suggestions to fix her. It was very much in the vein of Kirstie Alley's Fat Actress, where it was like, it was Tori Spelling, but it wasn't really her actual life. It was just based on the public image. And it was great.
Lonnie Anderson played Candy Spelling, right? Yeah, that's
Lonnie
incredible.
Anderson played Candy, and there's where we get the famous gift wrapping room, because Lonnie Anderson had many scenes there wrapping gifts or having the help wrap
ahead of her time. She was ahead of her time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that is Tori Spelling's best, or do you think it is the assault scene by a ghost in Scary Movie?
In Scary Movie 2. But Chelsea, we need to explain to Dominic, we need to explain it to Dominic. Dominic, in her first memoir, Storytelling by Tori Spelling, genius title, by the way. She writes about Scary Movie 2 as if she is she blows it out of the water. There's no one funnier. She's killing it. She's the funniest thing that's ever happened. And because she won't go topless in it at the behest of Harvey Weinstein,
right?
She's completely cut out of the movie. And she's basically there's a disservice done to comedy because her scenes are taken out of this film.
But also, because yes, Weinstein held Tori Spelling back. She was like, this was going to be my debut where I break out of the little rich Beverly Hills girl. And I am in this disgusting fucking movie where a ghost is going to fuck me across a ceiling. And I'm really funny in it. And it's going to blow all your minds. And because she won't show Harvey Weinstein her tits, he cuts her out of the movie entirely, except obviously the ghost fucking scene. And then she was like, you guys, it was Lucille Ball. It was Lucille Ball getting fucked by that ghost.
Yeah. She's she's basically the ghost of every female comedian that's come before me is probably is channeling through me right now in this film.
But I'm not sure. I think she might be right. There's a part of me that What if she was the funniest thing to ever hit Scary Movie 2 and we'll never know?
Sure. We'll never know.
I don't know. You know, when Donna Martin on 90210 went to the Halloween party as the mermaid and couldn't move, and so she had to shuffle around the party, there were some comedy chops there. Like I saw Tori Spelling breaking away from the pack, and like she was trying to set herself up as the Madcap cast member. Mm-hmm. It just didn't stick, but she definitely can be funny. I don't know that I'd call her Lucille Ball level, but I'm sure that
she would call herself that, sadly.
Apparently she did. So, I mean, yeah, she's not wholly untalented. She's just like the most Nepo baby who's ever lived, obviously. I mean, there's who else?
Everyone knew that her dad gave her that role, and she was playing like the virgin, and she wasn't getting all these like hot scenes. So not to say that she wasn't hot, but I think she specifically said Donna was a sexual character.
Well, Donna, if I'm not mistaken, there was a storyline about her losing her virginity, and I can't remember how it
Yeah, but I don't, all right, whatever.
She was definitely not the like sex pot hottie she's not the Samantha Jones of 90210.
She was saying it in the context of people always see me as a hot, dumb blonde because I played Donna. I'm just like a hot girl and I'm stupid and I'm actually a smart girl. And I was like, I don't think that was the character.
At all.
I also don't believe, I mean, I don't know that anyone's ever said this, but Harvey Weinstein might have done us a favor because no one wants to see her tits. We know. I mean, we're going to say it, right? We can say that here. Like, it's the worst boob job in Hollywood. Like, period, the end, close the book, burn it. Like, stop. Everyone needs to stop. Come on.
I cannot believe the Harvey Weinstein comment. I just need to on record say, I do not co-sign. No co-sign.
Well, and whether Dominick is right or not, like she's given it all to us because she's butt-ass naked on the cover of her podcast, Misspelling.
Really?
Yes, it's her.
Full nude?
You know how that cover of, and there's like been 9 million like pop stars that have done this, but the cover of Selena Gomez's podcast that has like, good for you, and like Kill Him with Kindness, where she's just butt-ass naked with her hair over her boobs and is like doing that like, not crisscross applesauce, but like with a leg up across the cooch and then the one is down. That's what Tori's doing. That's what Tori. And looks great, by the way. Like looks beautiful, but
so no bush is what we're saying.
No bush. All this to say, I can't believe Dominick, you're horrible. So she's on Beverly Hills 90210.
Crisscross clitoris nosh. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can rejoin the conversation.
Click cross.
She was sitting click cross. I knew we'd get there. Thank you, John.
Click cross applesauce. Yeah.
I love a live workshop. I wish we were live workshopping.
I knew I didn't have it, but I knew I couldn't listen to what Chris was saying unless I let it out.
So, daughter of one of the most famous producers in television of all time, Tori Spelling, on Beverly Hills 90210, then has this Oxygen reality show about her and her husband Dean, who she cheats on her first husband with, and is with for 9 million years and has 5 kids, who she's now just divorcing. Right?
And she had 2 shows where they get like a bed and breakfast, and they're doing the reality show version of it.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
It sounds like they actually tried to
lived
run.
There? Yeah.
I mean, they definitely lived there, but it wasn't like, haha, we're doing a reality show. They were like, try and check people in.
Yeah, that was real.
The room.
Like, it wasn't like, it wasn't like,
so it failed.
Can you believe that it's not Paris Hilton running a bed and breakfast, where it's like, can you believe that Paris Hilton's running a bed and breakfast? Like, no, you can't, because it's not real. They really were running a bed and breakfast for profit. Like, right?
One of my friends produced both of those reality shows.
What's the tea?
What I can tell you is that he loved her. I mean, she's about as nice as someone that inhuman because of growing up with that amount of wealth could be. You know what I mean? And I went to a shoot once. They were in the city. I met her very briefly. It was very hello, goodbye. I will say this. She is, like many celebrities, like many humans, much prettier in person, I thought. And much like my height, which is not really? Not a lot of height. Yeah. And she was very thin, but not too thin, and just nice. Like she was very nice to everyone she was interacting with. There was
That's big for
no bitchy tone. Yeah.
But she
I think
like
so
a nice person, like as much as she can be.
I bet she is.
I said this on our podcast, but she was raised in a prison made of money.
Correct.
It was a money prison, and she could have peeled money off the bars and done something with it. But she grew up in hell. I think all of her problems. Can I just quickly talk about Nanny and Candy?
Oh, yeah,
Please.
Absolutely. You have to lay this on Dominick because he's like not ready.
Okay, so Nanny and Candy will explain everything. By the way, Nanny and Candy, a new sitcom we produce. I don't know, something to think about. So it's Candy Spelling, her mom, her rich mom, who was kind of, the trophy wife to Aaron Spelling. And then it is Nanny, who is Tori Spelling's actual nanny. Her name is Margaret. She is a Black woman. And she calls her Nanny. So her name in the book is Nanny. She does have a name. It's Margaret, but she's Nanny.
Yeah, Tori. But like, how are we to know? Basically, like, how are we to know? Like, we technically know it's Margaret, but like, she just calls her Nanny as in like, yeah.
And then Nanny. So, and she's an adult. When Tori's an adult woman writing the book, she's like, and then Nanny went and did this. So, and Aaron would set them, her dad would put them in competition because Nanny actually did everything. And Tori actually loved Nanny and was like very, like that was her mom. And then Candy would feel guilty. And then Aaron would be like, I have 2 wives, but everybody knows who the real wife is. And then he'd wink at Nanny.
Like
And then
Candy
Tori
would be like absolutely furious.
Yeah, she'd be like, I'm going to kill everyone.
You know what it is? It's exactly, and I know this, everyone hates this movie now, and it's like not a good reference for anything, but truly in the movie The Help, whenever the little girl is like,
it's the first thing I thought
You're my real mommy to like to Viola Davis. Like, truly, that is the exact, it's exactly that story.
Right.
And similar to that movie, which is like heartwarming racism, that is also Tori Spelling's view of this woman, where you're like, oh, you love her so much, but this is tinged. And crazy things will happen. Like Candy will be like, you cannot bring a birthday cake for Nanny. And Tori'd be like, but it's Nanny's birthday and I want to bring a cake to the dinner table. And Candy's like, she's dead to us. She's not your real mother.
Oh my Lord.
And so there was just no
like psychological warfare. Yeah. Like within the home with their like only maid that like cares about them.
Yeah. The only woman who cares about them. And she's in a picture of Nanny is in Tori Spelling's wedding bouquet. When she marries the guy she immediately cheats on.
With her,
I didn't know any of this, and it explains. It's at least a little bit of motivation of why Candy Spelling will not give 1 dime of Tori's father's money to her when she is literally living in like trailer parks and migrant motels with all of her children
and like pissing in diapers
and
on the side
pissing in diapers.
Yes, which and let's be clear, it's a Sunseeker. It's not a trailer, okay? It's a Sunseeker. That's some nice shit. So
I won't even ask for
money
forgiveness.
Somewhere.
I won't. It's a home on wheels, period. Tori Spelling deserves better than any sort of mobile home. No shade to any of you retired or not retired Winnebagan world travelers. It's not about that. You're not Tori Spelling. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for the DeRosas. I'm happy for everyone. Tori Spelling does not belong in that movie.
Tori Spelling was born into a 10,000 square foot mansion in Beverly Hills, and that was the small house.
Yeah.
That was the smallest house she ever lived in. That was the normal house. Chris, I don't want to jump ahead, but we have so much to get to.
No, but so much to get to. But like, yeah, so basically like Nanny and her mom are in a war forever. And isn't it like at Nanny, when they go to like Nanny's funeral, like her family is like, her daughter, Tori, like called Tori her daughter to her actual real family members.
Oh,
like,
the nanny was pushing it then.
But the nanny, like, didn't they like bring out?
Nanny just genuinely loved her. And had childhood pictures of her. Also, Nanny was taking Randy and Tori down to Compton to like hang out with her family because Tori's family didn't know where the fuck she was. And so Tori's like, I get it.
Tori's like, I've seen the streets. Like, I know what like hardship is because of Nanny's family.
But no, Nanny was just the only person in the world who loved him, who I'm sure endured so much for so many reasons. And one of those reasons must have been that these children will have nothing and no one if I do not put up with Candy Spelling and stay here and love this child.
Right. Yeah, truly. And now that Nanny's gone, look at like her life has gone to absolute garbage.
All right. Chris is chomping and I want to talk about Benihana.
It's the best story.
It is the best story. It is.
So gets married to this man, cheats on him immediately with like her co-star of a Lifetime movie, Dean McDermott. And they then immediately like get together and have like 17 million kids.
So she cheated on her first husband, Charlie, with Dean.
Yes. And Charlie, she has like a $200 million Beverly Hills wedding too.
Yes.
And
like
9
beyond.
months later is on set, and within 24 hours of beating Dean McDermott, they're fucking.
Wow.
He's also married with a child. Go ahead.
Right.
Yeah. So then they go off together. For then the next 18 years, they try to prove that the reason, like that their cheating was worth it, and have like 17 kids and 2 reality shows and a bed and breakfast and a this and a that.
And 5 chickens, 2 pigs, a bird, a squirrel, some dogs.
It's literally that song in Gypsy whenever she's like, if mama was married, we'd live in a... Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Anyone? Am I the other?
Yes,
and it's like 2 pairs, like 2
going,
canaries, a mouse, banana, 2 turtles, and me. Like, if mama was married, that is her life. Like,
let's get loud. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to tag all of Chris's songs with that. I was so upset when you sang America the Beautiful and didn't sing Let's Get Loud, but continue.
I'm sorry. And so thank you very much. So she straight up is at Benihana, fall down drunk, apparently, allegedly, and like falls down drunk on the active burning grill and burns her arm. And then subsequently sues Benihana, and it's a legal battle that goes on for, and I think years, where she's like trying to get a settlement from Benihana for being piss-ass drunk and falling down on the grill. It is the best story of all time. Nothing happens in it, but just that fact alone. And again, like, you're Tori Spelling, like, you don't need to go into legal battles with people for 2 years. Like, but she does. That's the problem.
She does now.
She has no money, so she's trying to get us, like, I have an annuity, but I need cash now. Like that is her. Like, it's like,
how dare this Benihana have open grills?
Yeah, like she sues, and it goes, and I think they like settled out of court. Like, I don't even think she got like as big of a payment as she could have.
How could she have? First of all, everyone knows this. It's a life rule. Do not bend over to look at the onion volcano at Benihana. Just look at it from afar. Do not stand up and try to like 90-degree angle yourself over it to get closer. There is no need. It is an onion with smoke in it, and you're going to injure yourself the way Tori Spelling did. And now look, she's poor. Do not lean over the onion volcano. This is where it starts.
And so, I mean, that's the beginning of like so many stories of her. Then Dean is not in the holiday photos. Then he is. Then a picture of him is in the holiday photos. Then there's like, it's just always like, is Dean ever home for Christmas? Like, the answer is always no.
Yes. And it was clear, like, from her own love story, where she's like, don't judge me and Dean. Don't think we can't work. This is true love. Made it exceptionally clear he had probably already cheated on her before it went to press.
Like, I mean, like, day
there's just
5.
No chance. Yes.
Yes.
But for Tori, even though she did cheat on her husband, it was really clear that Dean was the hot, blue-eyed blonde boy who's super tall, who was supposed to be her fairy tale. Because in her book, she kept saying, like, all my friends thought I'd be with like a really hot guy. And like, my husband wasn't hot. So it like made more sense that I was with Dean, because everyone saw me with like a really hot guy. And then with her nose trauma said, at least with Dean, my kids will have good noses. This is printed in a book.
But this is also like the mom in Titanic who's like tightening her corset and it's like, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you little fucking slut, you better get out there and get all that money because we're poor, we're broke, we have nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that is like so what this is. It's like, she's like, I could be with like a man that actually like wants to be with me and cherishes me, or I could be with a man that like Hollywood deems appropriate for me, and I will like run away from like the trauma around like my nose job and like every bird / my mom that is attacked.
I have never understood the appeal of Dean McDermott. Like, I knew he was a whore before her. He was a whore during her. He just can't. He fucks like anyone that comes within a fuckable radius of him. And I want to look at everyone who's ever fucked him and say, really? Like, was there no one else in the room?
And
why?
So many men truly get better with age. Even if they don't, they societally still get better with age.
Yeah.
Uggos become so fucking handsome at 60. He's like the one man on earth to get grotesquely uglier with age.
Truly.
He's been treated like a woman in Hollywood where they're like, get out of here now.
Like, get out of here. Yeah.
Like, he never got more roles. Their reality show, like, was their one chance. I mean, the reality show's like 15 years ago. What have they been doing for 15 years.
Nothing. What is he doing other than like Lifetime movies? And even like she's writing 9,000 books. Like she's at least like working or trying to. But I feel like he's just like siphoning off all of her money.
Absolutely. And
also, Candy Spelling is like stroking a white cat in her castle.
You
like,
love it. No,
calling
Dominick,
anyone. I know she's pulling strings. You know,
Dominick
she
says
is.
that she's like Dr. Evil, basically. Like,
I
Dr. Evil is like,
She's literally calling like Justin Trudeau and saying like, how much to kill Dean McDermott? Like, let's just do it. Like, kill him in his own country, so I don't even have to ship his fucking body back here. Do it.
But according to Tori, she even said, everyone told us when we got married it would never work. So I sought to prove them wrong for as long as I could. She's in a battle with Candy. She has lost the battle as of 11 hours ago. You're right.
Yeah,
Candy's
correct.
in her castle. Candy was so like filled with glee. She accidentally tossed that white cat out of the window. She was like, yay. And now that cat's dead. And
but it is true. And like, so then what happens next? Then she's like living in a trailer, ? Like, right.
So she says basically something happens where all of a sudden
like pictures pop up where she's like not in a home, right? Like something like.
No, but first they're in hospitals. So it's like her and all the kids are in hospitals and they're like severe mold poisoning has been killing us for 3 years. And I'm like, are you sure it's not just Dean McDermott's emotional?
It's for like chlamydia.
Like
that's
pulling
not
a like
mold.
pulling a Sixth Sense and like putting like Drano in your cereal.
But she's like, and she's putting up like selfies of her children crying in the hospital with like a Band-Aid on their cheek, being like, mold has been killing us. We must leave our house. Maybe it was mold. Maybe it was Dean. Maybe it was, we cannot pay rent anymore. So now this house has mold. I don't know. That's me allegedly just coming up with an asshole theory.
Also the chickens, you know what I mean? Like the
chickens
like
are
livestock that are in their house is like poisoning them.
They could have had avian bird flu. They're in contact with fowl so often. I mean, for God's sake. Maybe the kids were crying because someone told them that their grandfather invented television and they were probably like, why the fuck am I suffering? How does a descendant of that billionaire get mold poisoning?
Yes.
Like,
and also, why am I in a stockyard? Like,
why do I live in a storage unit?
This is so fucked up.
Okay.
It's like rich people. They're just like
Chelsea's
us.
Crying.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Chelsea's almost crying.
Because it's so crazy.
It's so dark. It's so real.
So dark. I mean, in her book, she's talking about in high school, she and her best friend would go to Gucci and spend $50,000 for fun
nothing.
after school
nothing.
as sophomores.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Can we talk about why they divorced, though, Chris?
Yes, please enlighten us. Well,
Okay.
you know, because you were there for it when you listened to the podcast, right? Like,
well, and I'm hoping maybe you know too, because they should have divorced a million years ago. He's cheated a million times. What is it? Like, what did it? I'm listening to her first podcast episode, which by the way is a mess. A mess. Sometimes she's like, I was a hot blonde, right? I mean, like, I don't know. What does that mean?
right,
and
guys?
then, like,
I'll never get over
right,
that. I need
guys?
to listen to that immediately after this.
And then someone responds to her and she goes, no, I know. I had to learn to play dumb. Like, it's like all over the place.
Dear God.
And in it,
I mean, I guess it was really method because you married Dean McDermott.
Dean. She calls Dean on the podcast. We only hear her end. And I don't even think it was planned. I think she was like, oh, Dean's calling. And she gets on the phone. She's like, hey, I filed for divorce. And it's as if she's like, did you want chicken or salmon for dinner?
Oh my God.
Oh, you want chicken? Okay. Yeah. No, it's in. Well, what? I just did it. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Talk to you soon. Love you. Bye.
And he's not gobsmacked or anything. He just hangs up.
No. It sounds like they're just like, yeah. It sounds like she's just like, hey, the dishwasher broke, but then I fixed it. And he's like, what? Oh, okay. Bye.
That conversation in that house probably happens more often than kitchen repairs.
And she did say that. She was like, he was always threatening to divorce me. Finally, I did it. I never wanted to divorce him. Okay, let me get to the reasoning. She said, this is so, I'm like, did I dream this? She said, Dean told the press that he broke up with me or he wanted to divorce me because I let a pig sleep in the bed with us. she never says, no, I didn't. Or no, a pig did not sleep in the bed with us. What she says is, that wasn't it. It was other things led to it. It wasn't the pig.
I can't do this anymore.
And she said, you know, he was always talking about, it's like, oh, there's always like dog crap all over the house. And I just let the dogs like shit everywhere and I don't clean it up, and he couldn't take it anymore. And I said, Dean, the first time you came over to my house, when you first met me on that Lifetime movie set millions of years ago, when you came over, what was happening? And he was like, dog shit was all over your hotel room and like dog shit was everywhere. She's like, so that is who I am. And that is who you married. So that can't be why you divorced me.
He's like, we live in a fucking clitoral zoo. Like, I am a zookeeper, not by choice. Like, that is the fact that she did not deny that the pig slept in the bed with them is the most disgusting thing I have ever heard in my life.
You know what? I'm going to be real with you. Okay, pigs are pretty cute. They're pretty smart. I guess you got to the place where they could sleep in a bed with you. What do you mean you haven't been picking up your dog's shit for 30 years? 30 years? You let the dog shit on the carpet and leave it there when your hot new affair boyfriend is coming over? You just started fucking him. Pick up the dog shit.
No, she can't. She can't. Because guess who?
No, what a defense, though.
Chelsea. Because guess who used to pick up the dog shit?
Nanny.
I can't even begin to react to this because it's the pig sleeping in the bed. Like, can you imagine? Can you even imagine
something even worse? The pig
is Tori
was actually Ian Ziering, and no one knows this.
Listen, if you've been sleeping in a bed with Dean McDermott for 18 years, what difference is a fucking pig?
You are right.
The pig is probably welcome.
You're right. Chelsea, you're right.
The pig probably
thought
cuddles.
it was him.
The pig probably listens. The pig isn't fucking other people.
Of course. Well, that's the thing. The pig probably brought less disease to that boudoir than Dean McDermott's dick. You know what I mean? Please. He's bringing STDs from multiple nations into the bed. Who gives a shit about a pig? Fuck. We should get into pitches soon, but someone needs to talk about the diaper first.
All these articles keep coming out. Again, they're like living in a trailer with mold poisoning, like they're dying, ? The zoo, the pig in the bed. Then this is a week ago. It's just like a people.com, our paper of note article comes out and it's like, of course I used my like daughter's diaper to like pee in my car. Like, of course. And I'm like, oh no, is she like, now it's this bad? Like she's living out of the car and using the daughter's diaper to like, as a toilet. Like this is really bad.
I'm not following with this. So she says she once peed in her son's diaper, but was it like a funny story? Was it like she was doing the astronaut thing and hunting Dean McDermott down in Vancouver and she had to get there in so many hours and had to like pee in her son's diaper?
What? That took me a minute.
What's the context?
I don't know if she knows.
But also, why share it? What is it? Are you trying to get something in Us Weekly to take away from the fact that you're not divorcing?
I don't know.
Are you being cute?
She wants to be madcap. She wants people to look, I'm just like, it's madcap. I mean, the bottom line is Dean probably gave her so many UTIs, she pisses herself probably 3 times a day at this point, for God's sake.
Okay, well, I want to say with a UTI, you're barely dripping drops, but I hear you. Okay, actually, you know what? I know what it is.
What?
I did a quick people.com skim. This is what it fucking is. Okay, I was reading an Us Weekly the other day, and you know those pull quotes they put in the front in those big circles?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tori's quote was, I had a C-section for all of my children, so my gynecologist recently told me I was as right and tight as a 14-year-old girl, which, by the way, put that man in jail. Is that a direct quote? Put him in jail.
Yeah, for real.
What? You are inspecting Tori Spelling's vagina and letting her know it looks like a 14-year-old girl's, like so many. Anyways, she was obviously quite proud of it. She was like, right,
no,
like
of course,
cutest, tightest, childlike woman.
Well, she's got to get back out there. So she's like, guys, so, P.S.
Yeah.
Like,
P.S.
Yeah, because they hear 5 kids and they're like, yowza, get me out of here. You know what I mean?
I mean, bananas. And I realize, why would she give that quote? Oh, it's because this woman has chosen to have a podcast. It's Last Chance Dance. How am I going to make money? I'll have a podcast. And so she's just saying the craziest shit on air.
Yeah, to get people to listen.
And people are pulling it as press stories. That's where that diaper thing came from. She was telling a fun story.
And also because it works. Because I was like, okay, hold on, downloading. Like I was immediately,
She knows how to tell a story.
Yeah, storytelling.
I have one more thing we have to talk about, which is Tori in her first episode is like, everyone says I should be a real housewife of Beverly Hills. And I even talked to Andy and I was like, why am I not a housewife? And he said he just like can't see it. And then Tori, I was live texting Chris and I was like, well, I think you have to have a house to be a housewife.
No, slam.
Such a bitch.
Like neither house nor wife. Right.
A couple minutes later, she's like, let's be honest, it's because I'm broke. But
yeah,
you think she should be on that show?
But she could get on Orange County. If she just bopped on down to OC.
She doesn't think she's good enough. She's like, I need to be on Beverly Hills. I'm too good for Orange County. I mean, that Sunseeker could make it down to OC, I'm sure.
She
could be a
what
friend. Would she talk? She only a friend.
A friend.
She's got to show up and sell shit like Jamie Lee Curtis. That's the only Beverly Hills moment she's going to have. She cannot hobnob with these people. She has a store. No, she's got a storage unit.
She would bring a chicken.
Chelsea, yes. Chelsea, I'm saying yes. However, the viewers are saying, like, remember when Denise Richards showed up in like white cut off jean shorts and people basically wanted to crucify her, like, and live murder her on camera?
I mean, Denise Richards wore her jacket upside down and
we almost ran her off the road. You know what I mean?
Like, though, Denise Richards is like Helen Mirren compared to Tori Spelling. Like, there's no
but then Andy or someone I need a housewives for the poors. We do it better.
If she goes down to OC, she's good to go.
All right.
Bring the kids, bring the
Sunseeker.
Like, be in a casita. She could be like Gina. Remember when Gina was living in like someone's guest house? Right. She could do that.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah.
I think she'd be great. Can you imagine? Now we're coming into the pool house.
She would be great.
With 12 chickens, 9 cows. Like, that'd be great.
Yeah.
How many children does she have?
I think 5.
Oh my God. Really, the pitch should be that she and her children go on a national tour of Sound of Music because there's enough of the people. There's enough of the people to do it. I will not allow Dean McDermott to be cast as a Georg Von Trapp. That cannot happen.
Although it is the role he's meant to play.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Okay, are we there?
Could she sing My Vagina is 14 going on 51? 15.
We have to fix this lunatic, Christopher.
Oh, God. Okay. Tori Spelling.
Victoria.
Spelling. Candy Spelling. My knee-jerk reaction was for her to do a reality show with her kids. That's child's play. I need her to do a collaboration with Airbnb.
I cannot.
Airbnb is going to buy her a home. So we get her in a house with the kids.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And she's going to turn that home into a zoo, much like she did her other home that was full of dog shit and had pigs laying in the bed. And she is going to be like a resident. You know how all these people are doing like collaborations with Airbnb? Famously, Goop, Dorinda did it with Bluestone Manor. Like all these celebrities are doing the house. She's just like chilling there. Like
she's there when the guests come?
She's just there with the guests. And you get to experience Tori Spelling's like zoo home with your best friends. Like we would go there, obviously, sleep in bed with the pigs. And it is just like, you get to see what Dean was living in that made him like want to divorce her. And she makes money. She gets a house. It's regularly upkept by Airbnb, so there will be no mold. Her kids will not be sick. There's like the trailer you can bring around the property, maybe the
strangers are checking in. They're living with her 5 children. The allure is you could sleep in bed with a pig.
Yes.
And there's dog shit in your Airbnb.
Yes. People will do it. Influencers will do it just for the. Would we not go there in a heartbeat?
Will do it.
No, I would not go there. I would never go. Are you out of your mind?
Chelsea.
You would do it.
No.
The same people that are getting cameos from Kitara Ravash are the people that would go like do this experience for real.
I agree. And then those people are what? Living with her kids as they are still in elementary school?
They don't have a home right now, Chelsea. I'm trying to give her stability.
Because it's fascinating and is also very Scottish Wonka exhibit adjacent to me.
I just need to be able to walk into the home
that.
and see the dog shit and experience it. I would pay hundreds of dollars to her.
Wow. I think I'd pay hundreds of dollars to go there and clean up dog shit. And I'm not even a clean person. I'm pretty messy. And I can't even take that.
That's my pitch.
Okay. Interessante. Okay. It's almost as good as falling on a Benihana grill, but let's see what Dom has.
That's who.
Can you imagine? She should be at Benihana. She should be the spokesperson
That's the
for
collaboration.
Benihana.
I'm going to change my pitch. She's going to open up a series of roadside hibachi stands. Wait, maybe that should be my fucking pitch.
Wait, it's not bad.
No, it is not. Although, if this one doesn't work out, I'll default to that one. As we're talking, and we cannot stop talking, and if we wanted to, we legitimately could be here for another 3 hours going through random shit that Tori Spelling has done over the past 30 years. But this is the thing that I'm thinking as we're talking about her is like, she is always around. She is always, no matter what she can't do, what she can do is keep slyly doing these 1 or 2 things a year that just remind people that she's alive. It is encyclopedic, the amount of nonsense that has happened with this girl, this woman. And just 18 years she was married to the biggest douchebag to ever grace our planet. There is an actual series here. As we're talking about them, I keep thinking about, was it the Hulu movie, Pam and Tommy, about Pam Anderson?
Limited series, yes.
There's a multi-year series here about Tori and Dean. Like,
Dear
just,
God.
you could, fuck. Her first season alone could just be the 90210 nonsense. I mean, even the podcast, like, you don't even need to meet Dean until like season 3 or 4 of this, because this is literally the person who is born to the most powerful person in Hollywood. She could write 1 or 2 shitty books with a couple of funny stories. She needs to sit down with some actual screenwriters, because this is like, you could easily get 100 episodes out of this. And insane stories too. Like, we're laughing about every single one of these quite unfortunate things that happened to this person, but there's a whole series of nonsense here with Victoria Davies Spelling. And so it feels a little Hulu-ish to me, or maybe Apple TV Plus, but there's something.
Apple TV Plus, that's some elevated shit.
I think it can be. I really
think it's like the crown of Tori Spelling's life.
It could be. I mean, oh my God. We'll call it The Clown. That's it. We got the title. That's it. Maybe it's a spoof of documentary shows while also being a dramatization. Call it The Clown, because she is Hollywood royalty. And just fuck it. What is The Crown on Netflix?
Yeah.
This is on Netflix then, and we're going to call you could, whether or not you want to call it The Clown, they can't be in it. It can't be cute casting. It has to be taken seriously. Like, it's got to be, you know what? It really should be Ariana Grande and SpongeBob SquareClit. They should take these fucking roles over. They could do it. He's not hunky enough to be Dean.
It needs to be like Elle Fanning, like playing Tori Spelling.
Yeah.
Elle Fanning, and like, I don't know, someone Vince Vaughn-ish for the Dean role. Maybe I don't know, like a younger
who
version.
Dean needs to be? Greg from Succession. That's young Dean.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know, where you're like, oh, it's a cute guy. And then you're like, wait, what though? Or no? Or is dark?
I mean, he's perfect. Anyway, before too much of my idea is actually Chelsea's idea, that is my pitch.
Ooh, these are good. Okay. I am going to vote between the two of these.
Okay.
But I need you to hear me out, because I'm on my 3rd Peroni.
Right.
I don't even, is that a beer you
drunker as this goes on? Thank God we're not doing video this week. I'm joking.
I think she needs to run for office.
Dear
I think
God.
she needs to run for office. Because
for what office? Dog catcher? Like, who's going to vote?
She can't even do that.
She can't even catch shit.
Hear me out. We got George Santos out here. We got Kellyanne Conway. We've got that woman, Katie, who just like shot a dog and she's like the Republican governor of like South Dakota. Katie, whatever. She's like, I shot 2 dogs. And everyone's like, yes. You know, you cannot get attention as a political candidate unless you're a cuckoo bananas.
Right.
And I know Beverly Hills is traditionally a red district in the middle of a bunch of blue because everyone's so fucking rich.
Yeah.
Okay. She is like, I was born a billionaire's daughter and I live in a trailer. Capitalism is broken. Billionaires are bust. This is her platform. Someone has to ghost run it for her, but I think she should run for office. I think it's the only thing that would get her attention. Okay. I'm going to vote between your two. I love the Airbnb collab. It gets her off the streets. Great branding for them.
I'm trying to help her.
Great branding. Now, the fact that she would live with strangers and she has a lot of young children there, that's where I kind of differ. And also the idea that like it would have to be someone who wants to see the dog shit in the pig. And then I'm like, man, that person's probably going to like drive the kid to school in the morning, like give the kid advice. I don't know. But I do think an Airbnb collab's pretty smart. Okay. And then the Crown series. I love it. Except she's put so much of herself out there. I'm thinking if like someone hands me this writing assignment, could I write it better than listening to 4 hours of her and Shannon? You know what I mean? In those layered ways, but also maybe yes, with enough chickens.
I can't influence you, but the answer to that is yes. Like, I think she needs honing. I think she would need, so we would take it seriously.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah, no, we need Aaron Spelling's daughter story. Before I make this decision, I feel like I need to ask for guidance. And I have a life coach who is Randy Spelling. I don't know if you know this. He's a life coach.
I had no idea.
He's a full life coach.
I can't. Are we calling
Randy
him?
Spelling is a life coach selling classes. He has a ponytail.
You don't say, Chelsea.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I got to go Airbnb collab.
Yeah, got him.
Son of a bitch.
I thought I lost it.
I think
what you've deprived the world of today, Chelsea, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I don't know. We've already seen her and Dean try and like unclog a toilet on a real working Back and Beyond.
I'm going to produce this and shove it up both of your asses. No, Chris, I'm not a sore loser. Congratulations.
Oh, God.
Get those kids off the street and into an overly priced Airbnb.
Well, when the first one of them is touched by a tenant, you will change your mind. So. I thought I was going to win when you brought up those kids. You're like, they're staying with strangers. I'm like, of course, a woman is never going to vote for Chris's idea. But
no. And
well, that's because I think that these kids need some guidance and the right tenant might get in there.
And their mom is not the person to do it.
Yeah, well, you know what? Maybe Randy Spelling will be one of the tenants and could life coach the children if he's got more access to them, obviously.
Can you believe he is a life coach? And it's like, so have you not talked to your sister? Do you not pass on the gems?
Anything?
She's like, get away from me.
He's like a lunatic in his own right, isn't he? Didn't he like beat people up as well or something?
What?
Oh, I'm thinking of the Hilton brother. I'm thinking of Paris Hilton's brother.
Baron.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought it was Baron Trump. Is it Baron Hilton and Baron Trump?
Yeah, there's a Baron Hilton, I think, who like used to like beat
He's in the
people
show
up.
with her. He's in the Paris and Love show with her. Anyhow, Chelsea, thank you for this win. Thank you for being here. This is absolutely the most unhinged episode we've ever recorded of this podcast. Like hands down.
I know. I feel so
great. You should feel great
about myself.
Yeah. You should. I love you to death, our podcast mother, co-mother. And please tell everyone where they can find you and where they can order your book immediately because I'm making them.
Immediately, please go to any bookstore ever, online, in person. They will have my book. I shouldn't be telling you this. I also, I've recorded the audiobook, so it's my longest podcast
Pre-ordered it.
Okay, thank you. You can get on Audible, you can get on Libro. And if you're like, I don't have money, but this bitch seems like she needs something, go to your library. Request my book. Request the audiobook. That helps me too. And yeah, it comes out June 4th. So if you order it now, it'll be there in seconds. I do have one request before I go, which is that, Dom, your next album cover is you sitting clit cross applesauce.
100%.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Fully
He's going to
nude.
be doing that. Please,
fully nude.
He's been begging for someone to ask that.
I'll do it for free. Album cover. I'll snap a selfie now. I'll put it on the chain.
And I just adore you. And this is a podcast. So the moment it drops, I always press play as fast as I can. And I want to say on air, my husband and I did a long road trip and we do not have the same podcast taste. And I played your podcast and I was like, oh, if he doesn't like this, I'm going to be so crushed. And he's a comedian. So comedians, we're all stuck up. And he was like howling, laughing.
That's wonderful.
Constantly. He was like, who are these guys? I was like, my best friends. I told you. We're very close. And he was like, this is amazing. They're amazing. I was like, I know. So thank you guys. And please make more episodes. And please start covering pop culture every day.
I know we're really talking about it very seriously.
I am your mother. I demand it.
I know. It's coming soon. It really is.
Yeah.
I love you to death. So everyone go listen to Glamorous Trash anywhere and go order that book.
Order that book. Listen to Glamorous Trash. Kathy Lee Gifford wrote another book. Maybe Chris will be back soon.
I know.
We'll
Jesus.
see.
My God. Dominick, where can people find you?
The website's domintterry.com. The socials are at Dominick Pupa. And you can find in my link tree on all that stuff, tickets to my show, We Get It, You're Gay, on June 29th at the Cutting Room in New York City for Pride. Christopher, what am I saying? Christopher, I said it differently this week and I feel like I've tripped and fallen down. Christopher, where can the listeners of this podcast find you?
You can find me at the Chris DeRosa. You can find the show at Fixing Famous People, and you can find the Patreon at patreon.com/fixingfamouspeople. I wish you both well. And as always, where's Shelley? Goodbye.